Yeah, what's going on back in the field with this track stars Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. We got a special guest in the building, and I'm so excited. We got Childlike CC in the building. What's up?
What's good, y'all? Back at it again.
I know,
First time,
right?
no, kind of, but I'm happy to be in the building. Thanks for having me, y'all.
Thank you so much for coming through. Told you in the hallway, I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
Love the beat selections of your music. You just do such great work.
I appreciate that, man. God is good. All
Yeah,
glory to
man.
God.
Yeah.
So tell us how you got started. How did all this happen for you?
And you do the short.
Short, shorter?
Yeah.
Like shorter version? All right, so, I can't. I'm going to try my best.
Okay, we good.
Okay, I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah.
Bed-Stuy. Don't ask me about the do or die. I don't know nothing about that. I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
No longer hear accent.
No accent here because I moved when I was like 4, so I've been in North Carolina most of my life. So I claim North Carolina for the most part. Music, been doing music since I can remember. I would write short stories, poems, make songs, stuff like that. It got to a point though where I couldn't quite. I would hate to like write songs down and not remember how it sounded. I wouldn't remember the melody and stuff like that. So I started to actually like memorize my raps.
That's that Wayne culture.
Yeah.
It's like Jay-Z, Biggie.
Yeah. So
Brooklyn all day.
yeah, I heard it from them and I was like, if they can do it, I can do it. So that's most of like even my music now, but just start to like memorize my raps. But even with that, I wouldn't share with too many people that I can make music because I wasn't like a fan of like people like being like, oh, you rap? Let me hear something. I'd be like, no, because I was shy and stuff like that. But eventually, I'll say like senior year of high school, I did eventually start to share it. And that was even forced because my brother like set me up. Like he took me somewhere with him knowing he was about to like ask them to have me rap. It was these people, they were like, we're starting a rap group. And he was like, my sister can rap. So he brought me over there. But for whatever reason, I did feel comfortable rapping. It was like a trap house, real ghetto situation. Had like a mic, laptop, interface, real cheap situation. But we did that, and that was like the start of me actually like rapping publicly, I guess.
Was this 2022? Because I heard an interview where you said you started like doing it professionally
this was
in
like
2022.
2017, 16, something, I don't know. No.
Okay.
So I was rapping like worldly stuff.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, I was in a trap house. I started to get real ghetto myself. So it was like a real.
Wow.
I was doing like worldly stuff at this time.
Okay.
It wasn't like 2019 is when I got saved. And when I got saved,
praise God.
I stopped.
What was that moment like? What was that I got saved moment like? What was the moment that was like, okay, I need a redemption. I need Jesus.
Man, yeah, I don't understand. These questions will take me a long time, but I'm gonna try to make it quick. But basically, it was a series of things. I was in a real toxic relationship, got out of that relationship, which actually caused me to focus on music more. And it's like God used that. It's like the first thing he stripped away from me after that was relationship was my toxic relationship with music as well. So basically, I had like a encounter almost with God where he just basically revealed to me like, hey, the music you're making is completely glorifying the kingdom of darkness. It's against me, so on and so forth. Long story short. And that night, after that night, the next day, I remember telling my brother like, hey, I think God telling me to stop making the music I was making. And at this point, I didn't even like have a real relationship with God or anything.
Wow.
Like it was like,
Wow.
He literally just met me where I was at and started convicting me of stuff that I never even considered a day in my life. Like when people talk about like hearing the voice of God, I'd be like, I definitely heard, like it wasn't my thoughts. It was like a conviction that I had never felt. But yeah, pretty much after that day, the next day, I kind of still tried to continue my normal routine because I was a heavy weed smoker and stuff back then. Hopefully I can say that word. I don't know my bad.
Yeah.
But I was a smoker and stuff back then. So like like that day, next day, I tried to like continue the same routine. And I was talking to my brother and I was like, hey, I think God is telling me to stop making the songs I'm making and to stop smoking. He's like, all right, just stop then. And literally since that day, like that was like 5 years ago, like I never, like 2019, never smoked again, never had like the desire.
Wow.
Like I lived in a house still where everybody else was still smoking. Like he still kept me for like that year where I still had to stay there. Like never had the desire.
Wow.
Completely left the music alone. Like he gave me like an unnatural appetite for him in general. Like I desired to read my Bible. I desired to go to church and listen. Y'all know how people like preach. take your time, preacher. Like that was me, and I meant it.
Wow.
Like I was like, I actually want to hear more. Like he kind of just gave me like just a random, but not random because nothing with God is random, but like a uncommon just desire and grace to where so much things that I was craving and doing, like immediately just stopped after that day. And it was like, I just began to like just consume myself with him. So really from 2019 to 2022, I didn't like try to make Christian music. Like it was never a plan to say, oh, I'm about to start doing Christian rap.
Yeah.
It was just really me focusing on my relationship with God pretty much.
Got you.
And then got back into it.
So what made you put your music on TikTok? Like what was that transition like? Like was it because IG is popping, X is popping, all these other platforms, Snapchat is popping. What made you say, hey, let me start really focusing on TikTok?
Well, I focus on everything like now. I even think then I kind of was, but I was going extra hard on TikTok because that's where I was discovering people.
Got you.
So I was like, I'm discovering all these. I didn't even know Christian rap was this deep of a genre. Like heard, like I heard Lecrae, I heard Kanye West was doing Christian music at the time. Like I started to discover all these people. So I was like, if I want people to discover me, how else they gonna know I exist outside of like my local community if I don't get online? So like I had to. I didn't even like to. I didn't even want to make. I hated the idea of like why. I was one of those people like, why do I have to make content? Like, why do I have to do this?
But your content is fire though. Like you are one of those people. Like I feel like you and like Mike Teasy are one of those people that like when y'all say stuff and y'all put in your thing.
Yeah, like but it came. That was God too, just giving me the appetite to actually like making content.
Yeah. Wow.
At first I didn't, but now I love it.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So okay. Even after the TikTok, how did you start meeting up with people like the Toya Loves of the world and like these other folks that you were like meeting with and like creating dope music with?
Yeah, some stuff started online, like Toya, that's my sis 100%.
Yeah.
She a real one for sure. Like her, I think Lecrae had gave us a shout out and I sent her the video.
Yeah.
Nice.
To like to show her, and then we started talking from there. She pulled up to like one of my music shoots with Big Breeze. But most people I reached out they would reach out to me to come out to events and stuff. I think Breeze invited me to my first show right here in Atlanta, West Side Nights. So that was my first show. I met Lecrae, then I met different people from Reach. I met so many people at that show. Yeah. And then from there, just different people like inviting me to different stuff. Like from that one show, I built so many relationships. Portia. Yeah. Like everybody's really cool. TZ, everyone.
Yeah. That's dope. Yeah, that's good. I mean, Atlanta, that we have a culture. The artists here have a culture of showing love. Yeah. I mean, 1K Fuse birthday parties are just crazy every year. The artists come out perform. It's just amazing. So, yeah, you're right. You're right here with family.
Yeah, for sure.
That's really cool.
That's cool. So, I mean, I think the thing is like what do you see for your career, and like even like you being so like almost on your, I would say like your John the Baptist, like, yo, I'm for the Lord, like don't pray with me stuff. Like even I remember like you called out them young ladies that was running and stuff, and like and they was in your comments like, what are you talking about? We love God too, and you was like, no, y'all don't.
I may could have handled that better.
But that's just your sternness, like that's good in this time, because I mean like I told you earlier, like you and Karen, y'all like on that, like, yo, if you ain't about Jesus, like what's up?
I forgot your question. What was the question?
No, I guess the question is like, do you feel like your career, do you feel like I have to be that stern in your career?
It's really not me trying to be anything. Yeah, it's really just like I really be Holy Spirit led in a sense. Gotcha. But I do have to make sure, check myself to make sure, yes, just because I'm leading you to do this, it's still a level of tact you have to have with it. Yeah. So I don't ever even go into anything like being like, I gotta be this way, or even scared to say anything, because I know if I'm saying it, I already got approval to say it. Yeah, that makes sense. So that makes sense. It's not even me like trying to be a certain way. But I do, like, even now, like, I never want people to feel like I'm like thinking I'm like holier than thou or something like that, or trying to condemn them or anything like that.
What's the relationship been like with the people that you say you had to leave behind, like when you left the old life behind? What's that been like? Have they embraced you coming into this new life?
Yeah, for sure. Okay. You know, people funny though. Like, they definitely, they see stuff and they're like, sis, I always know you. It'd be stuff like that. But yeah, and people know it's real too, cause like
that's dope.
They seen where I was. Like they know. They're like, no, she's for real.
Yeah, it's a good witnessing tool too.
Yes, for sure. So that's kind of what that's been like. But I don't have like deep relationships with people. I used to think I've been saying this over and over, but you'll be surprised. Like when you do certain things, if you remove certain things out your life, you'll realize how little people you really connect with on a deep level outside of the little toxic things you guys may have in common, if that makes sense.
Wow. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow. So you didn't sign no bad deals with them dudes when you was in the trap?
Oh, heck no. Signing no deals.
They don't come back like, hey, we do Christian rap now too. What's up?
We ain't signing no deals. Okay. I wasn't signing no deals, no.
Gotcha.
We did have like a fake label that was like, I would say the name, but I ain't even finna give it no shine right now. But it was even a toxic name.
Have you wiped the internet of all that stuff?
Yeah, I did. It's probably something. It could be something lingering, like on blogs and stuff. But even like a blog that had posted me, like even their page got taken down or something too. Like a big blog. They had to start over. I ain't gonna say that name either, but it's a really big blog.
I think I know.
But I was like, yeah, maybe the guy was probably looking out for me there too. Like, let's just delete it. But it's probably somewhere. I still have videos somewhere, but I could. But I'm like, I don't want to promote it.
The artist name was different, of course.
Yes.
Okay.
Even that was like really
toxic too.
It was toxic in a sense, because what it was like, my name was centered around only living once, which we know that's not even the case.
You know what my hope for you is? My hope for you is to be able to use this platform and whatever God gives you to touch those artists that are in the mainstream. Yeah. Where you left that stuff behind, and then you see the influence and the impact that like a SZA, a Sexy Red is having on young ladies, and how if you ever get to that point, we know you will be the one that can minister to that.
That's really like the mission, like a part of like my even like mission statement is to just show the generation that you don't have to compromise or live a certain way to be successful. And people would be surprised, I mentioned this earlier too, the amount of people, like even like celebrities or well-known up-and-coming artists that reach out to me just to say like, I love to see what you're doing, or to say, I want to stop rapping. Like I want to transition out of this, but I don't know how to. Do you have any advice? Oh, like
popping, or
not
like
popping who say that. Like
gotcha.
Popping people have like actually reached out just to say like, I love what you're doing. But as far as like up and coming people that have some clout and stuff online, like, hey, I kind of want to. I've been thinking about transitioning from what I'm doing, and I try to, minister to them and leave the door open for conversation. But my thing is always, I tell people like, just focus on your relationship with God. Right. Like, I feel like if I would have got saved and then started rapping the next day, things would have been like totally different, because I don't think my convictions, like, I'm totally sold out for Jesus at this point. Like, you can't offer me, it's nothing you can do to get me to like change my mind at this point. But I think sometimes like when you jump ship too early, it could be messy. So that always be my first piece of advice, is like, just don't even worry about making the music and stuff yet necessarily. Like, just focus on growing your relationship with God, and that'll come organically.
That's so dope, because you're so right. There's so many people that you've seen jump ship and then they jump back on the ship.
Exactly. They jump right. Because I even had that moment, like I stopped and then I was feeling so like sick. Like, I really love music, so it was like I was almost missing the music.
Oh wow.
And I didn't think that I could do like Christian rap, so I was like, well, I'm gonna just try to like make clean songs. And I remember going to this, like, while I was saved, I went to the studio to try to like make a clean song, and even that convicted me. Like, I left the studio, so I was like, I can't even do this. Like, this still don't feel like trying to make a clean song. But then I still had like 2 years in between that to like actually like figure out like, it's just stop even trying to make music, just focus on God. So,
wow.
Man, that's amazing. That's
great
amazing
story, man. Great story.
Talk about the collaboration for Stay Low.
Oh man, that was so awesome.
Yeah.
And then the remix, y'all got like reinforcements with y'all.
Yeah, that was crazy. So the original version, how did that start? Okay, Reach had a camp for their tape this time. At that point, I think Mike Teasy had a show in Atlanta. They had a camp. I also had a show to do with Teasy and I think me and Toya actually performed together at that show. So after that show, went to the camp. Toya and Reese had been there for a few days, like working on different songs.
Dope.
I had to leave like that next day, so I came in like I really did my verse and stuff like really fast. Like that happened in like an hour or something. I would say like between me waiting for them to finish the song, me meeting people, and me recording my verse. Like I wasn't even at the studio that long. But that was really that. Like I think Toya and Reese was more into the creative side of like the hook and helping to make that stuff. But I just kind of came in and did my verse and left. I want to say Toya's verse was a little different at first. So was Reese. I don't remember. Maybe a word or two was different. But yeah, then they hit me up, man. They hit me up.
I heard this story
over and over. To say to change my verse. So I like changed the verse like 3 or 4 times, like over and over.
Do you have your own studio or do you just have a real basic
I just
setup?
have I have the same mic at home
in
a laptop, and I was using GarageBand, but I've matured to Logic.
Okay.
So I'm matured to Logic. One day I'm gonna be in Pro Tools, but they kept making me redo my verse just for them to come back and say we're just gonna keep the first one, and I was like, dang. But that was a good experience, actually. Yeah. It really was. Like, I think stuff like that kind of helps grow you as an artist. Yeah. But that's how that came about. Then they were like, we're going to do a video shoot. Then they're like, we're going to make this the lead single for the thing. Like,
that's dope.
It was
that's cool.
Hey, my guy. But yeah, it was like, it was a very great experience. And that was really early on for me. So I got like the full treatment. Reach treated us great. Had me in this fancy hotel. Like, I was like, this is what rappers be like. A nice hotel.
Did you think the
meal per diem and all that? Y'all treated me good. I ain't gonna lie. It was nice.
Did you think the video and the song was gonna go crazy like it did?
No, I ain't gonna lie, and I said it to them too. I didn't even like the song like that.
Oh really?
Yeah. I was like, this alright. Like I didn't really like the song. Now the video, shout out to I think Nehemiah shot the video and stuff. Like he was so intentional. Like I knew that was gonna come together great because he was so intentional about shooting the video. But at first it was something about the song I didn't quite like. But then I think as we started the video shoot is what made me start to like the song.
Wow.
Like actually shooting the video. And even listening to it, because again, I wasn't as involved in the creative process besides like doing my verse. So I felt like, what is this even about? Like I was trying to feel like it was stuff like that. So once I was in it and got involved and put myself in, I was like, no, this slap, this gonna go. But at first I was like, I don't know, but I'm gonna just do this verse because y'all asked me to.
That's crazy.
So,
yeah, that's crazy, man. I love the record. I feel like the women been dominating those summer playlists. You know, I think Wande, Anike and Portia started it off, and then y'all was like the continuation of it.
Yeah, that was dope of them to do that. So and then Lecrae pulled up to the shoot. That was dope for him to do. Yeah, I think even Andy was supposed to be there first, but something happened. But it was just a dope experience. And then the remix came together. I think Jackie had put some on Threads. Yeah, and she was like, I be feeling like rapping, but I don't have time or something. And then I was well, send me just do a 12 and send me the rest. And then she sent me like eye emojis. And then Toya came with the layup and was like, or just send us we send you an open verse to stay low. And she said something. I forgot how she replied. But then Toya really was serious because she texted Ace, I think.
Oh, and he reached out to her.
Yeah, she sent a screenshot like, hey, they may be into it. She may want to really do it. And then Ace and Cray and them reached out and they kind of made it. Yeah,
that was so dope.
Yeah,
that was exciting.
Yeah.
this thing and knowing that I was watching your social media just grow over time, and I'm like, wow, this is a lot to do as an independent.
Yeah.
This is crazy. Talk about that journey in that lane. Like, do you want to do more? Do you want to be signed? What's going on with that?
Yeah, man. So basically, as an independent artist,
yeah,
I like to say this, but I never want people to think I'm throwing shade.
Okay.
I feel like it's levels to being independent. You have a lot of people like, oh, I'm independent, but it's like, you not really independent, bro. Like, y'all like, fake independent. Like, they're either fake independent or they're independent as it relates to a relationship with the label, but they have such a strong team around them.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
It's like you still have a label structure, which is really smart. It's nothing wrong with that. But I think it's levels to being independent. I was like really independent, like at home with my laptop, just like doing everything myself.
Oh, wow.
I eventually did get like a videographer, so like shout out to Donatello. Him and Portia actually got married. Shout out to both of y'all. I was just there after y'all wedding. Congrats. But eventually found like a shooter, like little small pieces. But I was like really independent, trying to like steward and manage like all this growth, like real organic growth.
Yeah.
And figure out like, okay, what do I do next? Like, how do I direct this?
Yeah.
So I did get like a lot of opportunities that started to come my way, which I was really slow to kind of pursue because of how I am. As it relates to just like my convictions, is just like, even like with like secular looks and stuff, I was like, I just don't want to be in a place where I feel like people are going to try to like convince me that I need to be different as it relates to who I am in Christ in order to be successful, if that makes sense.
Amen to that.
So we had like I had like a lot of conversations, and one conversation I had in particular, it was a interesting conversation, but it was kind of me, like that was really the start of my conversations to kind of see how that would go. Like, listen, this is who I am. I'm not about to do so. Like, if y'all think this is that, save your time, I promise. Save your time, because that's not me. So after having those conversations and like weeding some things out, I did decide to sign with Capital Christian Music Group.
Hey! Look, congratulations!
History in it.
Yeah,
we their first, female Christian rap act on the label.
Yeah,
dope.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, any major label in general.
Wow.
Like no one has worked with a female CHH artist in general, like major label wise.
Yeah.
So. I'm excited about it because
that's dope.
Yeah, like for one, I want to do a label, but I think I want to go we'll see. It could end up being joint venture, independent label, something like that. But that's something I want to do in the future. So just I'm really hands on with everything as well. So I already feel like I can start a label. Like at this point, like I just been so hands on, like in everything. Like I understand like the different aspects and pieces, but at this point, and I'm still learning, but that's something I want to do. And I just want to, again, being independent is great, and I know there's a lot of hype around it and stuff, but like I said, it's really levels to independent, and sometimes being like fully independent, like I was independent, is just not wise as it relates to really being able to steward everything God is trying to like do in your life. So I do want to make it available like to the next person who may want to take a certain route, that door can be open, and that we can compete with some of the other major label people who have a major label system behind them. So
people needed to hear you say that. And I'm glad you said it. But talk to us now. There's about we had a RSVP list of about 300 people that you were supposed to be bringing with you to this interview. So talk to us. What's going on? We got a bunch of people that's piling in the studio right now next door. It's getting louder and louder. So we know we got to let you go. But talk to us. What's going on? What are they here for?
We're doing a listening party because we also got an EP coming.
Hey, okay.
It's called It's Time. It may be out by the time y'all hear this. I don't know, but it's called It's Time. It's 5 songs on there. We kept it real light because I am working on like a full project.
Okay.
That I feel like is gonna be legendary. But this just got 5 tracks on it. It's called It's Time. The first song on there is called It's Time. I got a special featuring stuff I ain't even gonna talk about.
Okay.
But we got
somebody
5
in the
songs.
space or out the space?
Nah, they're in the space.
Oh, okay.
Legend to me.
Okay.
But
There you go.
5 songs on there. No skips to me.
Yes.
Showing some diversity. Like you talked about my beats and stuff. I do
Yes.
think at a point, because people heard me rapping on like a certain type of beat, that's the only beats people would also send me and stuff too.
Oh, wow.
And it was like, I didn't even realize it, but I'm like, I'm kind of boxing myself. Like people don't even, like it'd be different records. Like people don't even consider me for it because they're like, oh, she only do what's name.
Okay.
It's like, no,
All
I
right.
can rap on
All
different type of stuff. So getting an opportunity to work with different producers as
Yeah.
well, I think it's gonna really show growth in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Like this ain't new. Like people probably think it's new. Like, oh, CC rapping different. It's like, no, I could been rap like this. I just didn't
Yeah.
have the production
Yeah.
to do it. So
Gotcha.
a lot of big production.
So, well, maintain that because I love those beats. But
Yeah.
tell everybody where they can find you on social media, how they can support you, where you're gonna be next. What you got
Childlike
going on.
CC everything. So
Okay.
at Childlike CC, no Childlike CC 1, 2, or 3. People be trying to pose
Yeah, I
to
know,
be
right?
me.
Yeah.
It's just at Childlike CC. I'm pretty active on TikTok, Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, YouTube for the most part, but I'm on Twitter and other platforms. Yeah, and I forgot. Oh yeah, and I think where I'm gonna be next, I think be in Tampa or New York or
Okay.
back to back, something like that. But yeah, I've been traveling a lot.
Well, listen, we are super excited for
Yeah.
you and your journey.
Thank you.
God's favor
Yeah.
is on your life. It
Thank you.
shows. I'm
Glory to
so
God.
glad that you came to the Lord when you did because
Yeah.
He had this all laid up for you, and it's great that you're walking.
I
in
can't
that
wait to the
purpose.
party, man.
I know,
Let's
I
get to the
know.
party.
Yeah. So that was it, guys. You heard it.
Yeah.
Cece, she dropped that exclusive on us.
Yeah.
That exclusive.
Exclusive.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's really dope. So hopefully we will see you again back in the studio. Come back anytime you want. You got an open seat at the Track Stars.
For
We'd
sure.
love to have you.
Yeah, we gotta do it again because I know we rushing y'all. There's people waiting on us. So
Yeah.
we gotta come back.
They're here to see you.
All right.
All right, you're in the field with the Track Stars. Ryan Righteous, Shantana, DJ Jeremiah. Lego.
Let's go. Bye.
Hey, what's going on? I hope you liked that video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and make sure you support us on Patreon, patreon.com/TrackStarsUniverse. In the meantime, continue to watch our channel by clicking on this next video right now.